I'm going to go see when we come on live inside studio here. And we are live. Hello, everybody. Thank you all for coming. Hey, Lori. Hey, Sonia. Thanks for stopping by. I am Amanda Costner. This is my YouTube channel. We are here today to talk pants podcast. And don't worry if you haven't. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'll calm down.
No, keep it up, bring it up. Don't worry if you haven't listened to the podcast. That's like totally fine, because also maybe a lot I don't know if everyone's still staying strong with like the sandwich episodes, but don't worry, I've put together some of the highlights, a lot of thelwordgenq related stuff. Some there are some juicy clips. You gotta this is me for the last week.
You really gotta cipher through the bull. You're shifting in this bitch. But okay.
And as you just heard, here with me to discuss all of this is someone who you may know from Lesbian TikTok or from the Mighty Dames, a collective of ladies dedicated to representing the big girls in the grappling world. You may remember her from our recap of the thelwordgenq episode 4 we did on Lescast. Please welcome the very funny Tori O'Neill.
Hey, thank you for having me back. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun today. For sure.
Oh God. Okay.
Tori, how have things been going for you this past week?
Pretty dope. I've been for the last like 4. Let me take that back. That's a lie. For the last like 2 months, because I don't prep that much. The last 2 months I've been preparing for a tournament, so I've been sweating a lot, rolling around with sweaty men, which is not my preferred activity, but here we are.
Yeah.
But, jiu-jitsu competition. Let me just throw that out there. But I've been prepping for the jiu-jitsu, doing some new stuff with the dames, getting our first line of gis out. So yeah, I've just been grinding like always.
Tori, I am not a jiu-jitsu person. What is a gi?
Oh, okay. I'd stand up, but like my pants are not appropriate right now.
I love that.
I'm in shorts, and I'm sorry, that's too much ass to be showing.
No,
at
you
2
don't
o'clock in the morning. It's 2 o'clock.
I feel you.
But, so these over here are gis. All right, fuck it then. Okay.
I really put you on the
uniform that we wear.
Okay.
So it's a hot ass jacket that we have to compete in. So that's it.
So like in like, you know, other like taekwondo and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just your sports version of the.
Yep, that's what it's. Yeah, they're called. That's the gi. So it's just like it's like a jacket and pants that you have to wear. They're extremely hot. They're extremely annoying as hell. But it's like the traditional thing. It's you wear gi, or you do like no gi is when you wear like compression wear. So I actually train at 2 gyms. One only does gi, one only does no gi. So like it's pretty. I get the best. But like I fucking hate that thing. It's hot as hell, but I'm a better competitor in gi than no gi, because when you're big and you're on slippery surfaces, like fast people can just like get. So yeah, I'm pajama wrestling basically.
Okay, that sounds amazing, except for the hot sweaty guys part. But
yeah, and then I'm in Florida too. Ooh. In Florida, it's a special kind of hell.
Yes, lots of humidity there. Ooh. Well, that's awesome. Also, by the way, everyone, check out the Mighty Dames merch store. They, speaking of compression, I saw you are selling some of those. It's a compression shirt, right? Okay.
Yeah, so we do like compression shirts, like damn, why didn't I wear appropriate pants today?
No, I think this is hilarious that you can't show the audience your ass.
Look, this is the thing, like in my preferred way of life, I will never wear pants. I don't like pants. They're cumbersome. So I always say, like, for the first, until I was like 25, I didn't wear shorts. Wow. I just only wore jeans, again, in Florida, because I was very self-conscious about my thighs. Wow. And then when I got into jiu-jitsu and I started meeting some bigger girls, and I started realizing that, like, hey, my body is, you know, like, I know my body can do some things, but like then I learned my body could do some other things. Yeah. That like really made me appreciate it a little bit more. So after that, I've just been throwing ass ever since then. But
I don't know what that means, but I love it. Throwing ass.
I've been throwing ass. That's me. My thighs have been like out in these streets lately. Like I do not like.
Yes.
I try not to cover them if need be. Okay. But I know there's a line, and these shorts are definitely right on that crystal line.
no,
right there.
Yeah, protect the line.
It's like compression shirts, like think of like Under Armour type material.
Yeah.
And then we do like compression shorts, leggings, hoodies, t-shirts. We do like all that stuff.
Yeah, everybody check that out. Get you some compression shorts or some compression shirt. Now, one thing I want to point out is that we have a poll up. So go ahead and vote in the poll. The poll is about whether you're still listening to the podcast or not. Right now, 27% are still listening. 32% occasionally. 41%, almost half a solid no.
Okay. Honesty. We appreciate honesty.
So we'll keep that up a little bit longer. Yeah. After I asked Tori to do this live with me, you did text me, Tori, and you were like, okay, I'm 7 episodes deep. Like, where's the highlights?
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. So like, I know because they have a lot of episodes and they have pretty decent reviews. Like, I know this is for someone, but it ain't me. It was dry as hell. It's literally like you're just walking into someone's living room and just listening to them talk about like the most mundane things in the world with a little bit of like pop culture thrown in there. And I hate to say, it kind of made me dislike them a little bit.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, like I feel like watching L-word episodes is just enough, even though they're playing characters, that's just enough of these. Because like, if you were around these people in true life, they'd be annoying as hell, right? Like I don't really want to know. I wouldn't
even
want
Leisha.
Okay, she was fine. Kate, it made me really dislike her.
You're not feeling the grumpy old man vibe?
Oh my God, like. After like the first or second episode, I was like, she has a little bit of an edge to her voice. She seems annoyed. And then like the whole time, it seems like, are they friends? Is she just constantly annoyed?
Thank you for the super, Lori. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. I asked myself that question as well at certain times, or mostly I would sometimes be like, oh man, does Kate want to do this? Like, is she down for this?
Like, does she have something over her? It's like, listen, you're coming to this damn podcast with me because I have the videos. And then she's like, all right, here we go, episode 106. Like, yeah.
Leisha's like Russia. She must have something on Kate,
Basically. But like, I'm not like I listen to a lot of podcasts. Like some may say an unhealthy amount of podcasts. It is my preferred medium. But like, I like podcasts with a purpose, and this seems like it is completely purposeless and completely formless. Like, I don't know what I'm listening to. The titles have nothing to do with the episode. So I'm really confused. And the titles are already weird.
Yeah.
So then I'm just like, okay, that was 30 minutes of my life. I don't know what I heard.
I honestly, it's not as much anymore, but a while ago, maybe when they were doing it like a year ago, I remember thinking like, they have so many sponsors, like they would do 1 million commercials. And then this year when I was listening to some of the new ones, like not as many sponsors. And so I wonder if the lack of direction is maybe hurting their numbers.
Yeah. Did this start in like the pandemic?
Yes. It's a pandemic podcast.
So there you go. It's a pandemic podcast. Like, who amongst us haven't started a pandemic podcast?
Right.
So I think what happens is you literally have like you have all this downtime, so you have more time and energy, and you can kind of like,
dude, I started 2. How many did you start?
Exactly. Oh, how many? Okay, so starting is one thing. Continuing is another thing. How my ADHD is set up, I start a lot of shit that I never follow through on. But I started like maybe 3, 1 with myself and 2 with other people. And then I quickly realized that's a lot of editing that I don't want to do. So I stopped.
That's a lot of, how I know when it's time to quit your podcast, everyone listening, if you're thinking, when you don't even want to listen to the thing you recorded to like make sure the audio's okay.
Nope.
That's not a good sign.
We're like, let me just put my intro music in the beginning and put me a little intro in the end. fade it up. We're done.
Let me just risk it.
cold.
Yeah.
Not knowing there's a whole like 6-minute segment of silence in between. You're like,
Yeah. Oh,
my
I've
bad.
started so many unsuccessful podcasts.
Because it's easy. You think of an idea, you're like, oh, I'm interested in this. Everyone must be interested in this as well. They're not.
Nope. They're not.
Really not. I have a binder where I literally, not only do I have my ideas, but I have this thing broken up so this is what the segment's going to be. This is what this is going to be. And my general rule of thumb is if I like the idea enough, I'll give it a week. And then I won't post unless till I've done at least 5 episodes of it, because most time I'm going to quit after 3. So if I can do 5 episodes of an idea that I have, then I'll post it. Okay. But if I don't, that has saved me from, I have like maybe 6 that I got to like episode 3 or 4 and I said, fuck it. So like, I know myself.
There you go. Bank them all up before you put it out
there. You go.
To be fair, Kate and Leisha do own a lot of the episodes being boring. They like frequently will refer to it. Leisha, multiple times, I recall her saying how she was like surprised people were still listening. So like, I think they know.
But like, just because you're acknowledging you make boring content, that's not like a green light to keep making boring content.
Maybe they're looking at their numbers and they're going like,
I mean, also, I can't be mad at that. Like, let's be honest, there's a lot of us like, struggling, like wandering lesbians and queers needing some type of gay content. And they're like the like grandmothers of it all. Like, well, if they're going to do it, it's kind of how like we hate, like I kind of hate watch the last season of Gen Q. Like, I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it. Maybe this podcast is that for other people. Like, they don't want to listen to it, but like,
there's people hate listening. Like, I guarantee
absolutely.
you.
We have to, because like if we don't watch and listen to like the most popular gay and queer content, and then it gets chopped, like what success do we have? Like what hope do we have for any good shit to come?
So, like, I was just on with Ash the other day, and we were like, what do we all really need to do the thing where we put anything lesbian, stream it in the background? Like we're so desperate to keep this going.
Look, I have it both ways. I have to do that for gay shit and I have to do that for black shit. Because like, I'm just going to say it out here. Like there are some horrible gay movies, like truly atrocious. And there are some truly atrocious black movies, but I have to go in theaters and buy a ticket because I have to be supportive, because eventually some jewel will come out of this hot mess of content. It has to.
Yes.
I've wasted my life.
You're doing the Lord's work, Tori, honestly. RC is in the chat is saying if you have insomnia, check out the Pants podcast.
Oh, great background fodder. Great background fodder.
Don't put those pills away. Just pull the old phone out and listen to Pants.
Start from 1. You'll be asleep by 3.
Okay, well, I hope I have found some clips that will not put the audience to sleep. Most of the clips I found are going to be between last year and this year. Okay. I'm only so human. I couldn't listen to like every single episode.
I wouldn't want that for you.
Yeah, thank you, Tori. Thank you. Okay, so the clips are just audio. I'm going to stop it whenever I want to chat. Tori, should we come up with a word, like a word that you can say if you want me to stop the audio?
Yes. What is a completely ridiculous and obnoxious word that we can say?
Okay. Well, they call their listeners pockets.
That's some... Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say this now. There's going to be a couple of times where I'm like, this is some white shit. That is, I mean, I get it. It's one of those like, it should be clever, but that's so dumb.
Tori, okay. I mean,
okay,
I cannot disagree with you.
Well, it's called pants. So like, what are my expectations here? We can say pocket. We can say pocket when I want to,
okay, we're gonna say pocket. Okay, if one of us wants to stop the audio, we'll say pocket. Okay, let me set up our first clip. I don't know that I'm gonna set all of them up. I don't know if I remember all of them. So the first one is from November. I did keep them in chronological order.
Okay,
and Kate and Leisha are talking about the response to the show because the show has just now come out for them. Okay. On the podcast, so they're kind of talking about ratings.
Okay,
and let me get this going.
hard to even track ratings these days. Everything is streaming, and that's internal data that they don't share publicly.
The thing with our show is that you get one TV and you get 300 people gather around it.
Exactly.
So that's, if you think of ratings, that's technically data-wise, that's not good.
But I do mean that.
Okay, this caught my interest. Tori, do you think when people are going to these like Gen Q watch parties, these like big watch parties, they're not going home and also rewatching the episode on their own?
Exactly. Like I'm like on the show, and I know for a fact if I look on my on the Showtime app, I have like 4 or 5 episodes that I'm midway through, so like just watching clips at a time. I think it is true, especially when with lesbian TV, we tend to flock together to watch it because there's no one else who's going to discuss this with us except for the other people who obsess about it. So like we want to do that in real time and then like after. So I know there is like the grouping effect.
Tori, you're not going to your straight male best friend or sibling or cousin and being like, oh my God, this week on Gen Q, another couple broke up.
I've had to fight. I've literally been trying to get my younger sister to watch this show forever. It's like, I need you just to watch it so we can discuss this. Because this is what we do. We watch shows and we have like these full-on dialogues about it. But every single time she's like, episode 1 of like the OG episode, she's like, I don't like anyone. I can't watch this. I'm like, please, you can't just get through. Just start at Jenny. She was like, no, I have to start from the beginning and I have to know who these people are. I was like, it doesn't matter. Just try. So like it is hard to get people to watch it, like because even my girlfriend, she's 5 years younger than me, so she never watched it. She barely watches Gen Q, so like, I can't explain to her the phenomenon that this was and like how this like unfortunately shaped a lot of my early queer experience. So like I literally have to like I randomly find a friend like who I don't know, like who randomly like, oh yeah, the L Word. I was like, please tell me you've watched them all. And then when they say yes, like, okay, we're starting season 1 OG episode, and we're just gonna go through and we're gonna discuss our thoughts. So like, no, I'm not going to my male. They would just look at me like I was crazy. When I told them like, it's not nearly as much sex as you want to go through all the lesbian processing. Trust me, you don't. It's not that great.
Yeah, they don't need to these days. I'm sure all the like sex scenes are on YouTube or some other site.
It's the YouTube generation. Like there are compilations of like lesbian. There are literally shows I have never seen other than the lesbian scenes. Yeah. Because thanks to YouTube, I don't need to watch all the other.
You can watch the entire NCIS Hawaii, just like lesbian edition on YouTube. Yeah.
I've never watched NCIS Hawaii in my life until I saw a lesbian couple. I was like, well, let's watch these clips.
Yep.
Yeah. That's literally how I processed that entire thing.
Aren't lesbians amazing?
Oh my God. We really do the Lord's work.
Seriously.
Like, we're out here doing good for our community.
Seriously.
Can we just say though that like the difference in tone between them, it really fucks with my brain. Because you have this higher pitched voice and this very dry, low voice of Kate. And I'm just like listening to him. It's like, oh, that's a lot to process.
Yeah, it's an interesting combo in Kate where not only does she have like the disposition of like, I don't really want to be here, but then the like slow, I'm going to get my thought out.
Yes.
Actually, but I'm not going to seem like I like it, but I'm here. And that's what I did on Saturday. Like that's Kate. Like
that's just literally like I feel like she is like this close when she talks.
Yeah.
And then you get the bubbly voice after that. I was like, what is okay? Sure.
What a combo. What a combo. Yeah. Leisha and with, oh, okay.
Yes.
I can't do her without doing a Valley accent.
I know,
right? Let's see. Are you getting that ringing, Tori?
No.
Chat, let me know if you're getting a ringing. That might just be on my end. Okay. Let's try to listen to our next clip here. And this one is from, let's see. It's the same episode, okay?
All right.
This is, this is like kind of from like actually right close to the last one we listened to here.
It's not the again.
It's a communal show.
We've always said this. It's not the show you want to sit down and really think about. You want to yell at the television with your friends.
Yeah.
And have a few drinks and laugh and make fun of things. And
this is basically what we just said, Tori.
Yep.
Just
this is not a serious, drama that you need to process. No, you can you on first watch, everything you think is happening is happening. You don't need a lot of depth to it. And this is the type of show that you want to just like get mad and talk to people about.
Yep. Sorry, the chat is hearing the ringing.
Okay.
So I am going to try to get that fixed wherever that's coming in from.
Where is this ringing?
Trying to figure it out. Just pop out and see if that, and then I can pop back in.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait. Hold on.
Yeah, I hear the ringing. Oh, okay, I can't hear you. Your microphone's off.
And then I was with my mic muted. Sorry, everybody, for the disruption.
Yep.
This has never happened before. So if you thought this was live, it is live.
It's not me. Don't blame the Black person.
Let me see here. Oh, I think it is your mic, Tori.
Let me change my shit then.
Yeah, because when I muted you, the ringing stopped.
I might have to go with my computer mic for then.
Yeah, right. And that's okay. We'll be fine with the computer mic. Okay, well, we figured out the issue. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for letting me know. Thank you again, Lori, for another super sticker. That was like so nice of you. Let's see how the poll is going. Okay, looks like 43% no longer listening, and 31% are still listening to the podcast. So I thought the numbers would be a little higher, actually. That does surprise me a little bit. Okay. So while Tori is getting her mic situation worked out, I am actually going to go ahead and let's see. Let me play our next clip here. This is, I'm going to set this up. This is from the Scared with the Applesauce Tylenol episode.
All right, can you hear me?
I can, but it's still ringing for some reason.
How is it ringing?
Maybe if I bounce you out and you come back in.
Yeah, try that, because like, I literally have everything disconnected.
Okay, let's try that. Okay. Okay, sorry for all the audio difficulties. We're trying to get Tori back on here. So with this next clip, it's from the Scared with Applesauce Tylenol clip. Here we go. Let's get this going.
That's all we're going to say about the show. Yeah.
What can I say?
I don't know. I mean, I want to say a lot, but we could.
I do too, but
we'll wait till the season's over.
Maybe we'll have tea time when the season is over.
Oh.
Maybe not.
Yeah, that's when our podcast is going to get really, really good.
Okay. This is basically Kate and Leisha talking about how after the season is over, they are going to give all the juicy gossip about the show that they've been kind of wanting to say. And then Kate at the end is like, maybe not. Oh, here's Tori.
Is there still ringing?
There is not a ringing.
Hey, I literally did nothing. I want that said. Nothing was done differently.
That's why when I thought it was me, I was just like unmuting, muting out, because like technology, it could be anything.
Okay, so you can blame the Black person this time. It was totally me. My bad.
It's not you. It's like some stupid thing in somewhere in your equipment or something, or
Okay. Yeah,
something
there's a
about
lot of
my.
chords here. So,
But it's
all right, what
good
did I
now.
miss? What did I
So,
miss?
okay, let me just replay this really quick.
All right.
Let me see.
That's all I can say about the show. Yeah,
What can I say?
I don't know.
There's nothing
I
to
mean, I
say.
want to say a lot, but we could.
I do too, but
We'll
I
wait till
can't.
the season's over.
Maybe we'll have tea time when the season is over.
Oh.
Maybe not.
Yeah, that's when our podcast is going to get really, really good.
Pocket. Alicia, right as I was ending that, says that's when our podcast is going to get really, really good. I'm going to put up another poll, and I'm going to ask you, Tori, do you think they're actually going to do this?
No. Maybe if the show gets canceled, they'll really like go into, but like if there's a potential that they're gonna go to another season, they're not gonna bash their money. You know, they're not gonna fuck up the pay line. So like, no, they're not. That's just a spoiler to get us to keep watching, listen to this dry ass podcast. They are not. They're not gonna like, because it doesn't make sense to, right? Like, no.
No, and I don't know if I clipped this or not, but at least once over the podcast, Kate has referred to like them getting in trouble, having foot and mouth syndrome.
Yeah.
So if they've already gotten in trouble and they're like talking uncoded language and stuff, how can they do a whole tea time?
Exactly. As long as they are still, you know, on that Showtime dime, they're not going to mess that up. I mean, we would love it. I would love to hear the background stuff, of course. But like, that's probably the only thing that they know that like that it would get good listens if they did start just like bearing all. But like, there's a reason why people don't write tell-all books in the middle of a show. They wait some time afterwards because they know it's not going to be good for them. So like, do we even know if they got it's still in limbo right now, right? For the 4th season? Yeah, so they're not gonna say anything that's gonna wreck that.
Yeah, they are still in limbo. And that is another question on the forefront of all Gen Q L Word fans. Is there gonna be another Tori, do you want a 4th season? Have I asked you this?
Is Gigi coming back?
No.
Then I really do not care.
Okay, I said that so fast. I don't know. Who am I? I'm just some random YouTuber. Like,
yeah, okay, so all right.
My understanding is no.
So my thing is, and I don't think she's coming back either, because we just saw like she just got booked for like another Hulu show. Okay, which I'm going to watch that. It's called like Class of
09.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. It has all the faces that I've seen. And I was like, okay, I'll watch this, but really it's for this person on the left side. I'm watching her development. But like realistically, like all jokes aside of my love of Gigi and her character, but what the hell happened with season 3? It seems like the first season, it was like, okay, we're back. Let's give you the glitz and glam and let's like show you everyone with like, it did not look like everyone was in a glamour filter for that first season.
Oh, okay. Totally. Yeah.
So they're like bringing us back and they were doing all these big storylines like, oh, great. You know, Beth's running for mayor and, you know, Shane's being Shane. And, you know, it was this, Alex has her talk show. It was a lot of like big moments. And then like the second season, it was like, okay, what happens when like all that shit that we said was going to happen didn't happen? Like failed marriage, failed weddings, you know, failed bid. Like, what are they going to do next? That's why I said season 2 was really good. I really liked season 2. And then season 3 was like, let's, you know, all that goodwill we built up, let's just burn that bitch to the ground for, you know, episode long storyline. So like by the time it hit the finale, the only highlights from the finale were me. It was, of course, you know, Bae Tasha and the weird, who was it? Pippa. And again, the only way you can make me like Sophie, the Pippa Sophie dynamic. That was the only thing. And those aren't enough for me to like say I would watch the entire show again, like watch season 4. I don't like, they kind of like killed Danny's character development, all of that. I just didn't know what, and don't even get me started with like, we've come so far. I know I'm about to go on a rant, but they've done much great stuff to like kind of apologize for like the anti-transness that was in there. And then you're going to have the one, even I don't know if is she trans in the show or no?
Jamie Clayton's character?
Yeah.
No, Tess is a cis character.
Okay. But we all know But you're gonna have, that's the person who you're gonna have going off the fucking rails. Like that didn't even like, that just like hit me a special way. It just annoyed the fuck out of me, honestly. So it's like,
You weren't happy with the kill off tests, maybe.
oh my God, exactly, right? So like, I don't know. I didn't know what was going on. I was just so utterly confused after like the, you know, third episode. I was confused. And after the fourth one, I was like, all right, I guess we're just doing random stuff. So like,
I mean, that's Marsha Lewis Ryan's like, we're just doing random stuff. That's like,
so like, what is the buildup for the next, like, what's supposed to happen? Like, I don't understand what the point was. Okay, Bet and Tina got married again.
mm-hmm.
I feel like they knew that it was something like this would happen. That's why they gave us the wedding, because they're like, this might be it, y'all. Let's do something for the fans. Mm-hmm. Because like the rest is, I mean, let's be honest.
I'm here for Tasha and Alice.
Listen.
To try again.
Rose Rollins just
right?
different. Like
that voice. It's the voice.
The voice.
I'm just like, oh.
I'm here for her. Like just melt a little bit on the inside. So I'm here for that. If they tell me she's back, I was like, I might have to tune in for that.
Why would you just center season 4 around Alice and Tasha and like just do that. Just do that.
I would just it's such a, why can't we have nice things? It's like every time things go good, someone's like, well, I got an idea too. It's like, no more ideas. Just follow the line. Just keep the course, man.
No more ideas.
No more ideas. I know it sounds bad, but I just want a basic ass lesbian show. Don't try to do too much. Don't overthink it. Just coast. Like, you have a captive audience. Just fucking coast. You don't have to do all of this.
Tori, I'm so with you. I'm over here. I'm like, like I'm so with you. Like,
oh my gosh.
But why can't we have nice things? Why not?
Oh God, I don't know.
Are people still hearing the ringing in the chat? I saw Sanya. I'm not hearing it myself. So somebody else let me know if you guys are still hearing the ringing. Okay, let's go on to our next clip.
All right.
This one is from the December 7th episode.
Okay.
This okay, so the same as the last episode I played. Here we go.
I feel like what they would really like is if we recapped every week of what's happening right now, but we can't.
I can't.
We can't.
You and I both have foot and mouth disease. It would not.
Oh, this is the one I was talking about.
Okay. All right, let's end this puppy.
Okay, I'll see you in New York.
Okay. That was them talking about how they both have foot and mouth disease and why they're not recapping Gen Q.
Yeah, literally just how they ended that. That's the whole vibe of the podcast. Like, okay, yeah, let's end this. All right, yeah, I'll see you later. Like, what?
Kate's like, I have to get the fuck out of here.
Yes! It's like, all right, I'm doing this thing.
Okay, since we already talked about that, let me go on to the next episode, because now more episodes of this show are starting to come out, and you can tell they're like actually having trouble containing their thoughts. Here we go. This is from December 14.
I have to go out tomorrow. I have to, I believe, do some final post stuff for
I do too. That's the other thing I have to
the last couple episodes of the season, and maybe forever. I'm just being honest. I have to go out tomorrow. I have to, I believe.
Okay. I think they're telling us there's not gonna be a 4th season.
I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised, right? Like, this is what's happening is we're getting all these reboots and of TV shows, which are good for nostalgia's sake, but you're like, when you have reboots, the idea is the way you hit it is by getting the original fans, but then you have to have new fans come in and listen to it and like bank on it and pull it over. I don't know how many how many young lesbians are like, I gotta hit that Gen Q episode. I don't feel like this is a show that is going to captivate that big of a new audience. I feel like a lot of it are OG watchers, just like, oh shit, the girls are back. Let's
even
watch
then.
it.
I was thinking about it this morning because I was talking with Ash Silver a couple of days ago about all the cancellations, you know, and I was thinking, okay, when the OG show was on, less competition, more mainstream appeal, in my opinion. They're like their marketing promotions, like they're all naked.
Absolutely. And licking each other. Do you remember that part where like Shane's like licking Jenny?
Yes.
She's just like, I was like, oh, okay.
They are definitely trying to bring some male gazes in there.
For so sure. So much male gaze.
Gen Q now, way more competition.
Yes.
You were talking about our OG fans watching. I don't know that all the fans who watch the original are watching. I have friends who, you know, I'm trying to, when I was covering the 3rd season, I'm trying to get people to come on the podcast with me. I'm like, hey, you know, people who came on for A League of Their Own. I'm like, you watching the show? No, not watching it. You know, other lesbians, you watch the show? No, sorry. I watched the 1st season and then gave up. You know, like
that's it.
A lot of lesbians did not jump on board for at least season 3.
And there's a reason why the most popular episodes of season 3 have been when they brought back OG people. We have not bought into this new cast of people. So like, where's the, like, we don't really care about, you know, Sophie, Finley, all that. We don't really care. It's like, oh, where are the other girls? What have they done? And then you start watching like, oh, it's just Shane, Bet, and Alice. Like, okay, we got our fill of that in the 1st season. And then you go to the 2nd season, you're like, okay, maybe. But then season 3, you're like, okay, you know, I'm going to YouTube and I'm gonna watch the clips and we're gonna see what's important and what's not.
Yeah, and I don't know if even a lot of lesbians are like watching the clips by season 3.
Only time, I will say this, the only time like I had a friend who I knew watched the old season who commented to me, said, oh my God, is Max back? That's it. The whole season was like, oh, Max? Oh, cool. Let's see Max. Like, Tasha, that's it. But they're not going to sit through 10 episodes for like, you know, maybe altogether 10 minutes of like happiness.
If you're excited about Max coming back, you're not going to get, it's not like Max came back even for a full episode, really.
No.
I mean, kind of. I don't know. It didn't feel like a full episode. It felt like 2 scenes, you know?
Again, I would have been happy with a spinoff of Max. I want to know how Max is doing. That's my dying question after this is like, what is Max doing with his family? Like, or their family, because they're non-binary now. Like, what are they doing? That's what I'm interested in. And then like the only way I care about the other dynamic is if Tasha was brought back into the mix and seeing how that worked. But honestly, like, I want Tasha to stay far away from them because she's probably doing better for herself now. Right? She's a firefighter.
Bring her back into the mess. Get it all messy again. Bring her to fold.
And if you think that is literally what I keep thinking is everyone who has left this toxic ass friend group seems to do doing much better and should not come back. Right? Tina was doing so much better, and then she got wrangled back into Bet's madness.
Catherine in the chat was saying a reboot of the reboot would be good.
Give it 20 years and it's gonna be like Angie's daughter.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably watch that.
Look, and Angie, she's been the only other part, and they literally tried to kill all of the goodwill they built in the first 2 seasons with her getting with the freaking Hendrix dude. So like
I can't believe that was Angie's entire season.
Again, I'm sitting here thinking like, you know your audience. You know they're not going to like this. No one was rooting for this. Like nobody was rooting for this. But you literally let it string on until the last episode.
Have you seen Marge Lewis write in an interview? She's like, oh, you don't like it? Well, take it. You know, like she just, I don't think she cares.
Oh my God. And this is why I'm always on the hunt for more queer content. You gotta find something else has to give it to you. Because like you said, there's more competition. There's so much more gay shit in the world now that you can get your fix somewhere else and not have to like go back and understand all the lore of why these people are important.
Yeah. Let's play another clip here. This is Shane actually talking about I think Kaylani's storyline, and Alice chimes in with something funny in here. Let me get this.
Kaylani was coming to set to shoot with us, so we knew this was a short-lived thing. Unfortunately, if
she's like, you're welcome.
Right. If Kaylani was able to, actually be a significant role in this. I think the storyline with Ivy would have had more of a substantial
legs.
Yeah, it would have had legs, but knowing that it was a 3 episode
you can't say
stint,
that with the writers. They could have squashed it anyway.
Kaylani was coming to set.
Are they not dogging the writers there a little?
Yeah, they are. They are. You know what? They should. Why not? I mean, let's be honest. You don't have Kaylani come on your show and then like, I agree. There could have been so much more with that. Unfortunately, at the heartbreak of Tess, there could have been so much more, or they could have finally, you know, been honest and realized that Shane was non-monogamous, and they could have had a non-monogamous relationship there. That is a throuple that I would have been for. Let's just say that out there.
Tori, we don't build things on this show. We blow shit up. That's it.
Exactly. And wait a minute, even I think the next episode, like Jamie's character even brought up, "Are you non-monogamous?" James like, no. And then on the season finale, she was like hooking up with the one girl. She's like, "Oh yeah, we're non-monogamous," and she's like, "Oh, does that really work?" Shane, you are 40 fucking years old plus. You know this is a thing. You know it works. Why are you in denial? Why are you in denial?
Shane needs your ass to just come into the scene and be like, "Shane, what are you doing?"
Like, I feel like it always comes down to like this, and this right here is why it's such a great show to watch with other people, because they're literally saying everything short of like giving you the actual answer. Like Shane's like, "I don't know why this keeps happening to me. I don't know why I can't commit and why I don't want to just be," because you're fucking non-monogamous. If you just accepted that, life would be easier. Because Tess, even then, she looked like, okay, is this what you are? We could have dealt
Tess
with
was
this.
open to it, yeah.
Yes, and it's not like they're afraid to broach this topic because they still had Nat be polyamorous. So like they could have gone there.
Oh, no, wait. Nat went back to being monogamous when her and Gigi fell back in love after like
bullshit.
5-second ambulance.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. You're telling me those two don't invite people routinely into their bed?
Okay, maybe they are being poly then.
Yeah, they're definitely being poly. So, but like even then, it's just like you can do this, but it seems like still there's, even though this is like a lesbian show or a queer show, I feel like there's still this line of conservatism in just American TV in general that like we can have this happen with, you know, secondary characters, but the main ones, we still want to keep some kind of a line of traditionalism in there. Like, yes, Shane can be, you know, Thought 3000 throwing it out of both pants legs, but she's still, in the end, she's still looking for that special someone.
I'm sorry, I'm over here dying. Thought 3000.
Yeah, you know, like she's collecting numbers.
That should have been our special word. Thought 3000.
There you go. But like at the end of the day, they've always said like, oh, Shane keeps looking for that special someone to make her change her hoe ways. But the whole thing is like, no, the hoe is within you. You can't change that. Just accept it. Embrace it.
The hoe is within you.
The hoe is within you. Like it's she needs to get in tap with her inner wholeness, and she would be a happier person for it.
Yeah. If Carmen didn't do it, I don't know that anyone's gonna do it.
Listen, she's had Carmen. She's had, who was after that? Molly. She's had Kiara, and now she's had
Tess.
So like, and that's saying that she didn't have anyone else between them. Like you've had 4 solid candidates to like calm your ass down with, and different enough that like of those group, let's see who's probably the most conservative in there. Probably would have been Molly.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that Carmen wouldn't be down to dabble. You can't tell me that Tess wouldn't. And she's had options. She's had ways. Even like when they brought the first season with Kiara, when she wanted to have a kid, they're like, well, you know, we've never had a traditional relationship. So I feel like if you have the opportunity and you have the people who you clearly care about, who, if anyone was going to make you settle down, it was one of these people, and it still didn't do it, maybe that's just not for you. And that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Accept it.
Yeah. They just can't. They can't.
No.
Let's listen to, this is same episode, December 14th. Let's listen to Shane. This is when, sorry, not Shane. I get there. We're talking about folks. So I'm going
we just keep calling him Shane.
Kate actually kind of doesn't even use coded language here. Like Kate just like voices her frustrations here.
Okay.
So this is like one of the better ones.
And
And you got to be in a scene with him.
I got to be in a scene with him, and I was like, yeah, great, no problem, sounds good. And the conversation was, okay, what would you talk about? You know, obviously
Sorry, this is Kate's referring to Max, to Kate's
Okay.
scene with Max. Okay.
there's going to be some acknowledgement over the previous series, but what else would you talk about? And I said, well, the common thread these two characters had together was Jenny. Like that is
Yeah.
the only reason why I personally
They knew each other.
Exactly. And if we haven't seen each other in however many years it's been, can we talk about our whether, you know, can we talk about our dead friend? I know Jenny was problematic. That's beside the point. She died. Can we talk about that? I don't recall winning that argument, but I do recall having that conversation. And I wonder if anyone who watched it thought, why wouldn't they talk about Jenny? I don't know why we can't talk about Jenny. I just don't get it.
I'll ask you, Tori, why can't we talk about Jenny?
Reasons. I don't know. Because that's a good point. It's the same thing. Like, why don't we mention Kit?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So like they're basically like, oh, they're dead. They never existed. But like in reality, like these are people who were part of your lives for long periods of time. Like Kate mentioned, like the only reason Max and Shane know each other is Jenny. And you're meaning to tell me, like in that little short dialogue or anything like that, Max wouldn't have looked around. Dana's like, oh, Jenny really, really loved this. Or man, we remember the times that we hang. Like they didn't have to go into a full like, oh, our friend, do you remember? No, but like a short, reference to her. I feel like it's fine. It doesn't have to go into a full dialogue, but they'd say something about their friend eventually. Especially, it's been a decade since they've seen each other, a decade plus. Like,
Yeah.
Come on. Like, even like when, I think they mentioned Kit like occasionally.
Yeah.
But
I don't even know by name. It was more like, my sister died from these.
Yes.
And how dare you sell drugs? It was like more like that.
Yeah. I remember like when they went to like therapy with Angie, she was talking about how like, Kit was, it's the whole colorism thing where Kit was more similar to Angie than Bet was, and she had someone to talk to about that, but now she doesn't.
Right. You're right. Yeah, they did mention her there.
But like even that, I mean, I'm glad they did. That was a good way to talk about a past character. Now they could have done like something like that with Jenny.
So that's what I'm saying. They don't mind Mitch. They certainly don't mind talking about. Oh my God! They brought Aaron Daniels back.
Mm-hmm.
They
such a random.
They don't mind talking about Dana, but Jenny is like a no-go for this Gen Q. I don't know why.
I think because they know they fucked up with Dana. They know that was a fuck up, how they killed her off. So basically any way that they can bring her back, they know it'll make the masses happy. So even like at the season after after she died, I think it was like season 4 of the OG episode, and they brought her back the first time like a ghost. People popped for that. Yeah. Because like they didn't want her to go, but it was you can't bring people back from death. You can send them off somewhere and bring them back. But like I feel like with Jenny, they're thinking of like, oh, this character ran its course.
I also think you made a good point there that like the fans were dying to immediately have Dana come back. Everyone is. The fans
are Dana's.
Yeah, exactly. The fans, it's a little. A lot of people hate Jenny.
Okay, I've come around to Jenny a couple of times.
I know, I have too. It's been this whole arc, but I feel like even just 5 years ago, if you ask 10 L-word fans, like 10 people are saying they hate Jenny, and now it's not quite that way. But I wonder if that plays into it.
I still hate Jenny, but it's like a love hate.
Yeah,
it's like she was complete and utter chaos in the best possible way. And like once I rewatched it, I realized like she was always a hot mess. She just progressed with her hot messness to an area. Like if you watch season 1, Jenny, it was like this shy, I don't know, might be, I might be gay, I might not be. And then it transformed to like this Hollywood like starlet, this hot mess of a director. Like I enjoy, once I really sit back and do that, I was like, I appreciate how she was a hot mess the entire fucking time. It just went from like a depressing hot mess to a hilarious hot mess.
Mhm.
And like, she just did whatever she was a little bit of a sociopath, right? Like she just had no regret.
Yeah.
And something about that I find endearing, to just do whatever the hell you want and just, you know, oh, you mad at me? Oh, well, it's done. I
Is that
kind of
something
appreciate
Gen
that.
Q is missing? They don't have like a lovable psycho.
Yeah, no, they don't. Like, I feel like, okay, so when you do a reboot, like you kind of want to have a person who's similar to the original cast, but you don't want to go like person for person, you know? So you have like a Finley who is supposed to be, I guess, Shane adjacent, but not really.
Right.
And you're supposed to have like a Danny who is supposed to be like Bet adjacent, but not really. So like you have these people who are kind of close, but you still missed out on having like a true like batshit crazy person. All these people were way too level-headed, and the only person who you didn't have with level-head was Finley, but she was a goof. We don't want like a goof is fine, but you need not a villain, but like you need like that, you know, how do I explain it? All right, did you ever watch Once Upon a Time?
A little bit. Once Upon a Time. No.
Okay, never mind. For people who did watch Once Upon a Time, like the main villain, her name was Regina, but it was like the dark-haired, snappy. She had a quick comeback to do with everything. You need something like that. Everyone was too fucking nice.
No, I actually think that Jenny at times was a villain for the original show. And I will say, like, we had like one villain in season 3 of Gen Q, and it was that evil mom, Finley's mom, but she only comes for one episode. There's no like villainous character that's like a permanent cast member.
Yeah, you're trying to make us like everyone, and you can't have that. So like, okay, I don't know about you, but every friend group that I've been part of, there's been that one friend, you're like, why are they here? Who is friends with this person? But they're always there. They get invited to everything. No one kicks them out. They're still a part of the friend group, even though like they piss you off more than you like them. They don't have that here. They have everyone who like eventually they come around to. And even like, again, like my feelings of the Sophie Finley relationship has been like, it's been documented how much I don't like it. But even then, they made sure to make both of them super apologetic. Like, oh, we're so sorry. We should have never done that. She spent the first chunk of season 2 trying to get back with Danny to some extent. No, turn Sophie into like a complete asshole. Like, yeah, I did it. Like, really? Like, it's like, I'm not going to apologize anymore. I'm just going to do it. That they could have really like cranked that into like, you need a hateable character on the show, and they don't have a hateable character. You just have forgettable characters.
Oh, and that's so much worse. Like, if you're creating content, you want to make people feel something. If everybody is just like, yeah, they're kind of nice or whatever, like, not good. That's not good.
No. I want to hate someone, and you're giving me nothing. Even like Finley, like you can only hate that person so much. Like, all right, we know what she brings. Of course, you're not gonna like. It's exhausting sometimes trying to justify my reason for watching this show as much as I do.
I hear you. I feel like we all hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to another comment that I feel like is also pretty juicy here. This is January 4th. So it's not the same episode, but it feels like the same episode. Let me see here.
There's no difference in tone.
I know.
You're so lucky you got to have full circle closure.
I know.
Tell me what that's like.
This is so Leisha's just gotten done talking about getting closure with Dana.
Okay.
Leisha, because I don't get that privilege of having any closure with
Kate, if you and I could go down and pick up Sarah in the car.
So first of all, Kate is basically saying like, what's it like to get closure for your character?
She's big mad.
I not only want to pick up Sarah, I also want to pick up Mia on the way.
Also, did you see the Marja Lewis Ryan interview where she talks about driving a bus?
I've never seen an interview with this woman. Let me just throw that out there.
Well, there's this Jess Rothschild did a pretty like I don't know if it went viral, but it was like pretty. She said a bunch of wild and crazy things in the interview with Marja Lewis Ryan. And one of the things she talked about in the interview was how she's like, and she started doing this song where she's like, I'm driving the bus and we're all in the back. And so she's like, I'm driving the bus, which is funny because it followed them. Kate and Leisha go absolutely off about how they want to take a magic bus and pick up all the characters they want to bring to the show.
Yeah, well, we'd have to drive a long way.
I don't care.
Canada.
So what?
No, I'll drive anywhere from you. No,
Yeah.
so let's say this. If we could have a little magic school bus where we can rotate shifts driving and we just drive around and pick up all the original cast members. And
we don't need
get on this bus and then just to work together again and then drive them down to Culver City.
Well, so then on this magical mystery bus ride that we're going to do, I'd like to pick up Holland Taylor on the way. I'd like to pick up Pam Grier.
Everybody. That's what I'm saying. We have to like go through like the hills and.
I think Kate and Leisha
Yeah.
are totally on the same page as the fans.
Absolutely. Like, because in the ideal world, if you're going to do a reboot, you want to bring as much of the original cast back as possible because everyone had a favorite, you know? I loved Kit. I don't love everything Kit did, but I loved Kit. And then they just fucking killed her off after watching her continuous growth, getting through her alcoholism against her drug use. And they just fucking killed her off because they wanted to make a point about the opioid epidemic. Felt kind of cheap.
So not worth it.
No.
If you just have her move away, you can always bring her back.
That is my thing. Have them leave. You can bring them back. So like, and also like, okay, maybe this makes me an asshole. How much closure does Alice need with Dana? Because I feel like they keep bringing her back. That door has been closed. She's got her closure in the original.
It's like every time we think they've gotten closure, it's like Dana comes back in and creaks it open a little bit.
Yes, and I understand that idea. On the one side, I get it, the idea of like lasting trauma, like how you can think you're over something and it can still affect you years later. I absolutely get that, but beating a dead horse, man, let it go. Let Dana go. I'm sorry, I was never like a diehard Dana fan. I appreciated her, but like the pedestal that they put Dana on it's kind of annoying.
But it's like you said, it's because Eileen Shaken made a mistake killing her off, and everybody, including Shaken, who has admitted this, knows it. Except Marsha Lewis Ryan, who said she agrees with the decision.
But you know what? You know what she's doing? She's owning into her just whatever. This is what I'm going to do, which is what we're missing from the show. Just have someone own. And was it not a mistake to have Shane leave Carmen at the altar? I feel like that was a mistake to then not bring her back. I know there's probably other reasons, but like, I feel like if we had a list of all the characters we wanted closure from, I'm sorry, Dana's like on the bottom of my list of people I really want to know. Like, because
you said she came back. She already came back.
Yeah, and she's dead. Like, unfortunately, when people die, sometimes we don't get that closure. It is just life. That's what therapy is for. You go through therapy and you find a way to get closure when you don't have that other person to, bounce back and forth on. But she's gone. Let her rest. Dana can never rest with these people. Like you said, bring back Sarah Shahi. Let's see what what do you do to the person who you've literally left at the altar in front of all your friends? Have her and Danny, commiserate together. Like, me too. Like, there is something you could have done from there. And like, I'm glad they brought Max back. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. I'm glad they brought Tasha back. That's awesome. But whenever you do these long jumps, you're just kind of having to accept that, these people lived a life and that's it. Like,
yeah, we've gotten super extra Dana closure, but not really closure for anything else.
Nope.
And by the way, if they brought Carmen back, like, the fan base would go nuts.
Listen, if they brought her back, I'm setting everything. I'm recording. I'm taking the day off. I'm gonna prep for this shit. I'm gonna watch all her clips. I'm watching everything. I'm going to be ready. That is something that's like, you have to have something in your back pocket. Like, what can we do? Like, if they're really trying to shave, like, what can we do? You find her and you offer her what you need to get her to come back, because that would be a great comeback. But again, they've created such a hot mess with end of season 3. What do we really want Shane to the fuck up Carmen's life again.
I know, right?
Again,
like
she's
Carmen
probably,
doesn't deserve it twice.
She's probably like a famous DJ somewhere else living her best life. Do we really want to subject her to this again?
Yes, Tori. Yes, I want to subject her.
Kind of.
Yes,
but like,
the answer is yes.
The mature adult in me is like, stay away. But like the fan of me is like, please come back.
Yeah, I know.
Back. Please come back.
If only. Apparently it's never going to happen ever, ever, ever. I do have one more.
Okay.
Juicy clip. Just so juicy. Y'all are going to lose your mind at all the juice. Here we go. This is my final clip.
A tuna salad that has some level of acidity to it. Some use the base as mayonnaise, and I find that a little too creamy, and I don't know. There's nothing that cuts the, when there's mayonnaise in the base, it's hard to find something that cuts through the fat of it.
Cuts the fish. Yeah.
No, it cuts the fat of the mayonnaise. So I like a tuna salad.
Oh, you need mayonnaise. You just want to cut the mayonnaise.
I don't even know if you need mayonnaise.
This is their podcast.
That? I'm not a fan of mayonnaise in my tuna fish. I like a tuna salad that has an acidic base to it.
Tori, this clip goes on for like another minute talking about a tuna.
So you telling me you just played a clip of white people talking about mayonnaise?
Tori, that clip is from their most recent episode. They do a Q&A. They're like, we're going to answer questions again because like I feel like a lot of fans want them to answer our questions. And they're like, ooh, pick out those real juicy questions like what kind of sandwich we like to eat.
Oh my God. That's them shipping through like we can't answer that, we can't answer that, we can't answer that. Oh, there's a tuna fish. There's a sandwich question. We can milk this one here.
So stoked to not have to talk about the show. Oh, somebody wrote in asking about my teeth cleaning regimen. Yes.
Who the hell makes tuna salad in their 40s anyway? Won't we just have people make that for us? Don't we just?
Oh, for sure.
I'm just like, that was so random. And that is basically the foundation of that podcast and why I cannot get into it. Like, I don't care about your tuna fish preference. And she was so serious about it. I will say, I would also have I would probably go into depth about how I prefer like a certain cup of coffee too. But like, is that for a podcast?
I don't know. Apparently it is. I mean, they are famous. I will say that.
Are they going to tie a recipe to the end of it so we know how they both like their tuna fish sandwiches?
Not putting that kind of work in? No. Hell no.
That's so...
Absolutely not.
What are we doing here?
Okay, so the poll is going to end now. It looks like nobody thinks they're going to do tea time, at least not until the show gets canceled.
No.
Although 17% of you think that they will do tea time for sure. So,
but like, what would they say? What do you think the highlights of because all right, there's different levels of spilling tea. Like, you can be kind of coy with them, like, oh, well, we heard, or you can just be like, fuck it. Y'all want to really know? Ask me some questions. I'm going to bear my truth. We don't think it's going to be that one, right? They're not going to
no, because so much drama. I have heard rumors of so much on-set drama. There's no way they're going to just be like, oh yeah, here's the people that are fighting. Here's who hates who. Like, they're not going to do that.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
I feel like those are their friends.
Yeah. I feel like you can't do that. But what? So they have to have at least a couple of nuggets that they can share that we'd go like, ooh, we kind of like, oh, okay. But again, is listening to this podcast really worth that nugget? I don't know.
Everybody has to decide.
I'll wait to read it on Reddit. Someone's watched it and put it on the L Word Reddit, which if you guys don't listen to, if you don't read, quite entertaining.
Oh, Tori, what do you think I did when I was looking for highlights? I went to Reddit and I was like, Pants Podcast, lesbian, show me what you got. And sure enough, the L Word sub was like, here's all the episodes.
I'm a latecomer to Reddit. It's never been a thing for me, but this last 6 months, it has brought me such joy.
Oh, Tori, you know what? I'm going to do a live where I read lesbian Reddit stories. So if you're free, I would love to have you on for that.
Please bring me back for that because I can only fucking imagine.
Yeah,
I am here.
There's some crazy Reddit lesbians
because I feel like we've gone so far into the big appeal of the internet is first is you could be anonymous. Like you could chat with people who didn't know you. You could do all this stuff. But then we turn to like the MySpace, Facebook era where like everyone knows your face. So like some people are fine with pure honesty and like telling their story, but like there's always that one story that you cannot attach to your name, that you really need a non-biased. Yeah, I need someone to comment on this, but I can't let them know it was me. And that's where the beauty of Reddit comes in, because it goes back to that anonymous nature, and we just get some batshit crazy stories.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. They're so crazy. They make the like regular news these days. So
oh my god.
Yeah, I was looking for the stories for the live, and I realized that one of the best stories I found had like made several news outlets. And I was like, damn.
Oh, wow.
Reddit's doing the news job these days.
Again, Reddit doing God's work. So it's like, it's awesome.
Well, Tori, I want to thank you for coming onto this live. As usual, you have cracked me up. And I just can't thank you enough for your insight and your thoughts. And I'm sure we'll be doing it again soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming. This is, again, like I need an outlet to like get my lesbian rage about these TV shows out. So this has been my lesbian rage outlet. So I'm here for it.
Yes, always here for a good rage. Everybody watching, people watching later, anyone who's listening live right now, make sure you check out the description where I have all of Tori's socials linked. I have the Mighty Dames website linked. Make sure you're following Tori on Instagram at Tori O'Neill, TORRIEONEIL. On TikTok, she's at the Dame. Again, all of this in the description. And we did it.
Yeah, we lasted. I didn't turn red from screaming about the obnoxiousness of this show. But, you know,
I'm just red.
I can also say I will never listen to another episode of this podcast. I listened to 10 episodes for you and this, and I will never go back.
I honestly, I feel like I owe you like my life. I can't believe you did that.
I was like, this is it. This is the last one I can do. And like, in full honesty, I skimmed some of them because I was like, it has to get good.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah. No. But when they do the tea, I'll let you know. So then you won't have to listen to it. We can come back and do a highlight or something.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of tea they really spilled. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you everyone who is here. The chat's been a lot of fun as usual. And Rosie, I see you're there, and this is for you, lesbian. And we will end it on that.
All right.
All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.